Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time on this channel, thank you. You are so welcome. I hope that you enjoy this video. Remember to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. If you are a returning subscriber, darling, you are the one. You keep this channel going. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a beginner friendly eyebrow tutorial. I hope that you guys find this insightful, that you learn something, and that the next time that you're doing your eyebrows you will be doing something that you learned on here. Otherwise, remember to give this video a thumbs up. So first of all, what we're going to do is you're going to take a spoolie, which is a brush that looks like this. So it's important for you to have your mirror as close enough to you as possible so that you can see everything that is happening, everything that you're doing, and if you're making any mistakes, if you need to correct something and stuff like that. But first of all, we're going to trim this eyebrow. So firstly, I'm just going to brush them to go in one direction like this. I'm sorry if you have very curled eyebrows. I know that those ones can be so difficult to work with. So what I'm gonna do now is, before I take the blade, I'm going to take my pencil, right, and my mirror, and then I'm going to draw lines along my eyebrows to like sort of mark the ones that I want to leave so that I know where I'm going to trim exactly. And just draw that line. So now this line has sort of marked where I'm supposed to move along with my blade. Hold up your forehead like this. So the reason why you're doing this is so that you don't get to cut yourself, because when it's just like that, when you try to put your blade, you're possibly going to have possibly going to have bumps and whatnot whilst you're doing that, and that may result in you cutting yourself. So you just want to pull up your brow like that so that you sort of straighten the path in which your blade is going to come through, right? So you do that, and you're going to start from here. So you see that now already the area that I've trimmed is already showing, and you can already tell that my eyebrows now already have a shape. So I'm just going to finish off here at the end and make sure that I clear everything out, because you want that area to be very smooth and not have any teeny tiny hairs popping out of your skin for when you're now doing your brows. And then that's that. Then you just wipe that off, and then you're going to take Vaseline. Just, you know, dab your hand, your finger in like that, right? Just so it's like that. Then you just come in that area and you do that. So you're sort of doing that to soothe your skin and trying to cover your pores so that when you come in with your concealer, it doesn't sting or anything like that. So this is just something to protect your skin as a matter of fact. And look at that. So now already when you look at this side and at that side, you can tell that there's a difference between the eyebrows that have been trimmed and those that haven't been trimmed. So now that you have trimmed your eyebrows and that's done, before we move on, I just want to say that your eyebrows are not twins. They're sisters, and they're not the same. They're just similar. Then at this point, you want to take your mirror once again, bring it close to you, and then you take your pencil. So I'm using this type of pencil because it's the easiest to start with. So I'm using this type of pencil, and you want to make sure that it's a brown shade, please, not black, not dark brown. This is actually dark. So you need to get something that is even way lighter than this one. You're going to just draw a very, very fine light line from here. So like when you look at your brows, when you look at my brows right now, they already look defined and already look like they have a shape and things like that. So you're just going to start drawing your brow from a point where it is not filled in, or from a point where it doesn't look like it has a shape. So for me, that is from this point, because from the beginning all the way up to here, it already looks like it has a defined shape, and that is fine, that is perfect. So if for your brows as well, you identify from which part of your brow up to which part does it already look defined, especially after trimming, and then you start drawing from the part where it doesn't look defined, so that you just define from that part, because you're not trying to define the whole brow or change it or anything like that. You're just trying to, you know, emphasize it. And you're gonna come with your pencil, and we're gonna start here. And while you do that, you are following the natural shape of your eyebrows, but that doesn't mean that if your eyebrows are going straight from here, then you also need to just go straight. You need to create that arc, you need to create that curve right here, no matter how small it is. You need to create it because you want your eyebrows to have a tail at the end, right? So you're just going to create your small curve right there, and then you come down with it up to about there, right? And then about where you get to end, because like sometimes you find people drawing their eyebrows so long to a point where they even end here, and that is not right, because the size or the length of your eyebrows determines how your face looks. So the longer eyebrows you draw, then your face looks wider. If you draw very short eyebrows, your face is going to look so round and so small. So you just need to do something that is appropriate for your face, and for you to measure where to end with this line, you just take your pencil and then you put it across like that. So from the outer corner of your eye to this part of your nose, it's supposed to be straight, and then you know that you can go as far as that point with your eyebrow. But then that's also just preference, but this is as far as you can go, and you can still end where I ended over here, but not somewhere here, because here would be too short and here would be too long. So you can end here. That's like the maximum point that you can end at with your eyebrows, right? Like that, and there you are, we are done, right? And then the next thing you want to do is to define the top part of your eyebrow and to connect, so that you create that tail that you need, right? You look from the top part at which point your eyebrows start to not look defined, right? Where you need to start defining them so that you can fill them in and things like that, right? So for me, it is at about this point over here, where they start to curve and go down there a bit. They don't really have a consistent shape over there, right? So that's where I'm going to start drawing from, and I'm just gonna come from there. And remember to always keep a light hand. You always need to keep your hand light, so that you don't end up drawing very dark lines or very too defined lines. And all I'm doing is just going around the border of my eyebrows as they are, and slimming it down, so that by the time I get to the bottom, it is a tail and it is connected to my end like that. You see that? You see that? Very simple, right? And then when you now look at your eyebrow, you see that there are gaps, like right there is a gap where it just looks empty, like there's no hair at all. So at this point you start going through your eyebrow and looking at points where it needs to be filled in so that it looks like there is a hair there and there is a brow there, right? And for me at that point is firstly right here. So that's when you just come and you make very light strokes with your pencil to try and fill that part in. As you see, the brow already looks pretty different already. And there we go, you already have your brow shape and you're done. And the next thing you need to do is to clean it out with a concealer and you will be done. And now we're at a point where we're almost done with our brows really. What you're going to do now is to take a flat brush that looks something like this. You take a flat brush that looks like this, and then we're going to clean out our eyebrows and define our eyebrows, right? And I am using LA Girl concealer in the shade Cool Tan. I've put some right here on my hand so that it's just easier to work with than having to squeeze out of this tube each and every second that I need more concealer, right? So you just take a very little, and you're going to come on your eyebrows, and you're going to start from that point where you started defining with a pencil before you even come to this first part, right? So we're just going to start here, and you slowly follow that line that you already did there, and all you're doing here is defining as well as correcting any shape mismatch or things like that. So you just want to come straight like that from here, and you just keep going down, and you're probably going to make a mistake and go in too much or distort the shape, and things like that, but just be patient with yourself because eventually you will start to get it right. So there we are, you are done with that, and your shape is now extra defined, and that's what we're looking for. Then you just get more concealer and you start to connect from the beginning of your eye. When you're done, you're just going to drag down that concealer just to cover your lid, and so that you maintain more like a uniform shade within that eye area. You just come in with it and you just try to blend out over here, just so that there aren't any harsh lines or things like that. Then you're going to take your brush again and you take your concealer again, and for this top part, right, for a beginner, for you to be able to just try and follow through with your shape, you're gonna want to try to pull your eyebrow like this so that your shape sort of remains very straight over there, and you just place your brush like that, and then you drag it very slowly, take your time, then you drag it, then you're gonna come again, continue from where you left off so that you go down with that curve. You just start from midway like that, and then you drag down again. So you're just going to be following your shape, adding more concealer where it is necessary, and at this point you can just come with your brush, and because you're now at the curve like that, you just go down with it till you get to the tail like that. You see that? And at this point you're already starting to see like what your eyebrow truly looks like and what the end product and brow is going to look like. Grab your brush again and you just want to blend it out and blend it out like that. And then at this point you are done with your eyebrows. We are all done and they are on flick. So you can now go on to do your eyeshadow, put on your foundation and everything with your eyebrows on flick. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something. I hope that it was insightful. I hope that it was as beginner friendly as possible. Do let me know in the comment section. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, remember to subscribe. Till next time.